Hi there, Mr. Holcomb here with another episode of the Math Behind the Modules. This is lesson 4, solving for unknown angles using equations. Okay, opening exercise, the complement. The complement. Complement. 90-degree sum of an angle is 4 times this measure of the angle. So if we don't know an angle's measure, we're going to call it x. 4 times that angle is 4x. Those two add up to 90 degrees. So to find the measure of the angle and its complement, we would say 4 times an angle plus that angle is a complement to each other. They complement each other, or they are complementary. So 4x plus x equals 90. Combine like terms. 5x equals 90. Divide by 5, divide by 5, and we get x equals 5 goes into 9 once with a remainder of 4. 5 goes into 40 8 times. So one angle is 18 degrees, and the other angle, which is 4 times that, is 72 degrees. 18 plus 72 does indeed equal 90 degrees. Okay, so there was a little bit of a warm-up, if you will. And now here is example 1. Find the measurements of angle FAE. So here is F right here. Here is A right here. And here is E right here. In order to identify an angle by its name, we just start at that letter, we go to that letter, and we end at that letter. So I just draw a line from F to A, and then from A down to E. So this green angle is angle FAE. So measure angle FAE is 2x. The measure of angle C to A to D is right here. That is the angle CAD right here, and the angle CAD is 6x. So that's what we know so far. But if you look, we have a straight line right here. So everything on one side of it, every single angle adds up to 180 degrees. So there's a bunch of stuff going on. We have an arc. So let me erase some of this because sometimes it gets in the way. I just wanted to explain what we were talking about first. So here is an arc. All of this is 170 degrees. Okay. So if you see this arc is stopping right here. So that means this little sliver here makes this straight line. Okay, so A is 170 degrees. That goes from B to A to G. So angle BAG equals 170 degrees. That's from here down to here. And then this tiny little sliver will make that straight line BAF, which is 180. So this tiny little piece has to be 10 degrees because adjacent angles that form a line, angles on a line, add up to 180 degrees. So now this is 10 degrees, this is 2x, this is 90, and this is 6x. So now we have this straight line GAC, which is 180 degrees. So if I take my attention away from this straight line here, and we're now talking about this blue line here, everything underneath that is a total of 180 degrees. This is 90 degrees. This is 6x degrees. This is 2x degrees, and we just found this to be 10 degrees. So now we can say 10 degrees plus 2x degrees plus 90 degrees plus 6x degrees equals 180 degrees. If I combine my like terms, I get 8x. Plus 10 plus 90 is 100 equals 180 degrees. If I subtract 100 degrees from both sides, I get my x value by itself. And we have 8x equal to 80. 180 minus 100 is 80. And then when I divide by 8, I get x equals 80 divided by 8, or 10. Okay, so if FAE is 2x, so now I'm going to take this FAE here is 2x, and x is 10. Then we have 2 times 10. This is angle FAE. Angle FAE equals 2 times 10. Angle FAE equals 20 degrees. If I take this 6x, which is CAD, so angle CAD equals 6x, CAD 6x, angle CAD equals 6 times my x, which is 10, then angle CAD equals 60 degrees. So this is 20 degrees, this is 60 degrees. 10 plus 20 is 30, 30 plus 90 is 120, 120 plus 60 is 180 degrees, and those are angles on a line. Okay, number 2. Or it's a continuation, I suppose. 2 lines meet at a point. 2 lines meet at a point. List the relevant angle relationship in the diagram. Well, this angle is vertical to this angle. Vertical angles are congruent. So to set up and solve an equation to find the value of x, I would say the angle that is represented by 3x is equal to the angle that is represented by x plus 60. If I subtract x from both sides, 3x minus x is 2x. X minus x cancels, and I get 64. Divide both sides by 2. 2's cancel, I get x equal to 32. Set up and solve an equation to find the value of x. We've got the value of x. Find the measurement of one of the vertical angles. So then I would say x plus 64 equals angle 1. So let's call this angle 1. Let's put a 1 in there. So x plus 64, x is 32, is equal to angle 1. Okay, so therefore, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9. So angle 1 equals 96 degrees. So this is 96 degrees. This is 96 degrees because 32 times 3 is 96. And it said find the measurement of one of the vertical angles. So we did. Okay. Exercise 1. Now it's your turn. Pause the video. See if you can solve this. Then unpause the video and see how you did. Okay, so it says set up and solve an equation to find the value of x. Again, we have 2 lines that meet at a point. Therefore, my vertical angles are congruent, so my algebraic expression for each angle has to be equal. So 5x equals x plus 32. To get x by itself, I need to get all the x's on one side, so I subtract 1x from both sides, and I get 5x minus 1x, which is 4x. X minus x cancels, and we get 32. Divide both sides by 4, cancel the 4's, x equals 8. If I take that 5x and plug in 8, then that is 40 degrees. Okay, now I just finished this problem and I got an acute angle, and the reason I just paused was because I saw this right here and I know that that is obtuse and my answer doesn't make sense. So I always encourage people to think about the answer you got with respect to the problem you just answered, and if it doesn't make sense, see what happened. And now I see what I did. It and I see that this is 132, and I have a 32. So I need a 1 here. So this is not 8. 4 goes into 13 3 times. That's 12. Remainder of 1. 4 goes into 12 3 times. So now my x is 33. So instead of doing this, I'm going to say 5 times 33 is 165 degrees. Now that makes more sense because it is obtuse, and both of these angles are equal to 165 degrees. Okay. Example 2. 3 lines meet at a point. So what they're saying is you've got this red line here, you've got this line here that I'll highlight in green, and let's make this one blue. So there's 3 lines that meet at this point. List the relevant angles, relationships in the diagram. Well, the red and blue form vertical angles. So they're congruent, and therefore this is also 43 degrees. So that was the first thing I had to do. Set up and solve an equation to find the value of B. So I want to know what this angle is. This green line here is a straight line, and there are 1, 2, 3 angles that form this side of the green line. And those 3 angles add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to say 37 degrees plus 43 degrees plus B degrees equals 180 degrees. Combine like terms. 37 plus 43 is 80, plus B degrees equals 180 degrees. Subtract 80 degrees from both sides. These cancel, and I get B equals 100 degrees. So there is my answer, 100 degrees. Since this is 100 degrees, this is 100 degrees. Since this is 37, this is 37. Because green and blue, vertical angles right here are congruent. It's a degrees. 37 degrees, 43, 100, 143, 37. They add up to 360 degrees. Exercise 2. Now it's your turn. Pause the video, see if you can answer these questions, and then come back and we'll see how you did. Okay, 2 lines meet at a point. That is also the endpoint of 2 rays. Okay, so 2 lines, it's these 2 lines here, and then this is a ray, and this is a ray. This relevant angle relationships in the diagram. Okay, set up and solve an equation to find the value of B. So I know this is 90 degrees. Okay, since this is perpendicular to this, so this is the key to this problem. This is a straight line. And then I draw this ray right here, and it formed a 90-degree angle. So if this side's 90, straight line's 180, so this whole thing is 90 degrees. So if this piece to here is 80, this little piece has to be 10. 80 plus 10 is a total of 90 degrees. Okay, and I have another straight line here. So this red and blue form vertical angles. So if this is 10 degrees, then this little sliver here is 10 degrees. So now I know that that's 95, that's 10, that's 90, that's 80, and this is 10, and I just don't know B. And that is a angles at a point add up to 360. So I'm going to say 10 degrees plus 90 degrees plus. I'm not using this one. I could, but I'm going to use 80 and 10 just to show all my work. 80 degrees plus 10 degrees plus B degrees plus 95 degrees equals 360 degrees. 10 plus 90 is 100, plus 80 is 180, plus 10 is 190, plus 95 is 285 degrees. So I have B degrees plus 285 degrees equals 360 degrees. Subtract 285 from both sides. And these cancel, and I get B to equal 75 degrees. Okay, example 3. The measurement of an angle is 2/3 the measurement of its supplement. Okay, supplement means that two angles add up to 180 degrees. The measurement of an angle is 2/3 the measurement of its supplement. Find the measurements of the angle and its supplement. So, the angle that I don't know, I'm going to call x degrees, plus 2/3 of that, which would be 2/3 x degrees, 2/3 of the measure of this angle, 2/3 x, and its supplement equal 180 degrees. Combine like terms. Well, 1 is 3/3, so if I add 3/3 to 2/3, I get 5/3 x degrees equals 180 degrees. In order to get x by itself, I will multiply by the reciprocal of 5/3, which is 3/5. Okay, let me rewrite that. 3/5. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. So the 5's cancel, the 3's cancel, and I get x equal to 5 will go into 18 3 times. The remainder of 3, and 5 will go into 30 6 times. So now I just need to multiply 36 times 3, which is 108 degrees. So I found the measure of the angle. Now I have to find the measure of the supplement. So x is 108, therefore 2/3 of 108 is my other angle. And 3 goes into 10 3 times. The remainder of 1. And 3 goes into 18 6 times. So 2 times 36 is 72 degrees. 108 plus 72 equals 180. Exercise 3. The measurement of an angle is 1/4 the measurement of its complement. Find the measurements of the two complementary angles. Okay, pause the video, see if you can do this, come back and check your solution. So now I look at this word here, I see complement, and I'm going to put a little note up here. That means angles add up to 90 degrees. The measure of an angle is 1/4 of the measure of its complement. So its complement is an angle I don't know the value of. I'm going to add the complement to it, which is 1/4 of that same angle right here, which was x. So 1/4 x equals 90 degrees. 1/1, or 1x is the same as 4/4, and now I can add these two. 4/4 x plus 1/4 x is 5/4 x degrees equals 90 degrees. In order to get the x by itself, I multiply by its inverse. What I do to one side, do to the other. 5 cancels 5, 4 cancels 4, I get x2 equal 5 goes into 9 once, remainder of 4, 5 goes into 40 8 times, so 5 goes into 90 18 times. 18 times 4 is 72, so x is 72 degrees. So if I want to know what 1/4 of x is, and I know x is 72, then I just divide 72 by 4, and I get 8. 72 plus 18 is 90 degrees. Example 4. 3 lines meet at a point. Okay, so here's a line. Here's a line. And here's a line. And then we have this ray. Okay, so we have 3 lines that meet at a point and then a ray at the same vertex. List the relevant angle relationships in the diagram. Set up and solve an equation to find the value of z, which is right here. Z goes from this red line over to the purple and continues to the green. So Z is not just this 90-degree angle, it's 90 plus whatever this is. Okay, so in this problem we have to look at a few different things. So what I see here is this is 90 degrees. So I am forming a 90-degree angle with the green line and the blue ray. So if this whole thing is 90 here, then this whole thing is 90 here, and this is 29. So if I call this x, then I know that x plus 29 equals 90 degrees. They are complements. Subtract 29 degrees from both sides, and I get x equals 61 degrees. So now I know this is 61 degrees. Vertical angles are congruent, so this is formed by the green and purple line. So the green to purple line over here is also 61 degrees. And now I have Z going over from here to here, and Z is 9. This is 90 degrees, this red to purple, but Z is the 90 plus this 61. So my equation would be Z degrees plus 61 degrees equals 180 degrees, because the green line is a straight line. And this angle plus this angle does not add up to 180. There's one more component I need. So if this is 29 degrees and this is 61, this is 61, so what else can we determine here? The red to purple is Z. The red to purple is Z, and that's 29. What are these angles down here? Well, this is a 90-degree angle, so if this is 61, then this has to be 29 degrees as well. And since this is 29 degrees, this is the angle formed by the green and red line, then this is 29 degrees. So my equation should be Z plus 61 degrees plus 25 degrees. So it's from here to here to here all the way to the red equals 180 degrees. Okay, but I still am having a little bit of trouble with this because it's still not right. And so I'm going to fix this some more. I just keep looking at this and seeing different things. Z is all of this. So if I call this 90 and this 61, Z is 90 plus 61. I do not need this. So all that information I just did is not relevant. It's good to know that you can put all this stuff together. But I want to find Z. And Z equals the 90-degree angle that's marked here and the 61-degree angle we found by doing the vertical angles from here. Okay, so Z equals 151 degrees. Okay. And that is what they asked for. Okay, this is exercise 4. Two lines meet at a point. So let's label this color-coded. Line CAD is one line. The other line they're talking about is BAF. And then we have a ray AE, and we have a ray AG. Okay, so we have two lines and two rays. Two lines meet at a point, and it also the vertex of an angle. Set up and solve an equation and find the value of x. We want to find the values of x and find the measurements of GAF, which is 4x, and BAC, which is 5x. Okay, so I see a 90-degree angle right here. And I see that I have a straight line here. So if this is 90 degrees, and this is 4x, we need to know what this is. So 4x plus something we don't know will not help us. Okay, so do we have any vertical angles here? Let's take a look. Okay, so the only thing I see here that we could possibly do is name this a different value. So let's call this y. And this is 90 degrees. So this whole thing is 90. So if I ignore this green line here, the top side of this red line are angles on a line. And I have this angle here of y degrees, which is angle CAG. I have angle GAE, which is 90 degrees, ignoring that green line. and I have angle EAD, which is 36 degrees. So I can say y degrees plus 4x degrees, not 4x, I'm sorry, 9y degrees plus 90 degrees plus 36 degrees equals 180 degrees. Combine like terms. 90 plus 36 is 126 degrees. Subtract 126 degrees from both sides. And this cancels, and I get y degrees equals 54 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to take this y away now, and I'm going to call it 54 degrees. Okay, now it comes into focus. I have a green line that is 1, 2, 3 angles that form this green line. So it's angles on a line again. So I'm going to say 5x plus 54 degrees, which was my y before, but I found it, plus 4x equals 180 degrees. So 5x plus 4x is 9x plus 54 degrees equals 180 degrees. Subtract 54 degrees from both sides. This cancels. I get 9x equals 180 minus 54 is 126 degrees. Divide by 9, divide by 9. 9's cancel. I get x equals, 9 goes into 12 once for the remainder of 3, and 9 will go into 36 4 times. So x is 14. Find the value of x equals 14. Find the value of angle GAF. So then I would say angle GAF equals GAF is 4x. So angle GAF equals 4 times 14. And angle GAF therefore will equal 56 degrees. Do the same with angle BAC. And that equals BAC is 5x. So therefore angle BAC is, with the substitution, 5 times 14. And therefore angle BAC equals 70 degrees. So we've answered all 3 questions. What is x? What's the measure of angle GAF? And what is the measure of angle BAC? That is the end of lesson 4. Go do your problem set. And oh, by the way, smash the like.